Surprised to see me? Well, trust me, I'm surprised to be doing this video report too. But I figured, what the hell? It's the first big Saturday of the college football season, so even though I haven't done one of these in 6 months, I think I can handle it. I've done some 6,000 video reports over the past 12 years. I think I can literally roll out of bed and do one of these since I've been doing TV work since, 25 years now. So here we go. By the way, I'm DeMarco, in case you forgot my name. You didn't forget the pretty face, did you? Well, we'll continue. Don't answer that question. Let's start with the game between Maryland and Buffalo. You know, I've always maintained that the opening 3 weeks of the season is the only time we have the advantage over the odds makers because they don't know anything more about these teams than you or I. We're all going on the same information, what we've read and what we've observed, mainly through various beat writers or from the information released by the teams. That is it. It's really the eye test after the games have been played and we've seen these teams a couple of times. Then the odds makers get a better feel. So when it comes to laying big numbers in the opening weeks, I've got no problems with that. Maryland is substantially better than Buffalo. This is a rebuilding Buffalo team still, because Buffalo is replacing its 3-year starting quarterback. Buffalo is replacing its top running back from a year ago. Buffalo is also replacing, I think, 3 of its starting offensive linemen as well. Now, Maryland last year had its first winning season in 7 years, finishing 7-6. What did the Terrapins do? They got crushed by good teams. They beat bad teams. They got to the Pinstripe Bowl. They beat up Virginia Tech 54-10. Granted, the Hokies were playing their B team pretty much with like a third-string quarterback, but they got the job done. And I think laying 24 points at home today against a rebuilding Buffalo team, they can get the job done as well. And again, early in the season, I have no problem laying this big double-digit post in this particular situation. Next on the afternoon card, you've got another rebuilding team, Cincinnati, going to Arkansas. Now, if you look at the rankings, you see one team is ranked 19th and the other team is ranked, I think, 24. But there is a big, big difference between these two teams. You know, Cincinnati has been a great team over the past couple of years because of Desmond Ridder, but, you know, he's with the Atlanta Falcons now. This is a team that had significant losses on its defense, lost its 3-year starting quarterback, and now is going into Fayetteville, where Sam Pittman has a damn good team there. And Arkansas is loaded. Now, it's a big number, and I think it's a trap number, because you're looking at 6.5 and you're going, man, Cincinnati just played Alabama last year. I mean, that's what in your mind you're saying to yourself, and you're going, I got to grab the points. Well, I think that's a mistake, because I think this is going to be a pretty low-scoring game with Cincinnati on the low end. I can see this game being somewhere like 24-10, 24-13. I don't see Cincinnati getting a lot done. I see this Arkansas team being able to move the ball. This is an Arkansas team that went 9-4 last year, beat Penn State in the Outback Bowl. They've got KJ Jefferson back at quarterback. Now, did they lose their top wide receiver, Treylon Burks, who was a #1 draft pick of the Tennessee Titans? Yeah, but they've got a lot of talent back. They had a well-balanced offense last year, 228 yards rushing per game, 200 yards passing per game. They've got a big veteran offensive line with 4 starters back as well. So I've got no qualms with laying the 6.5 points with Arkansas. Of course, with that number at 6.5, I'm buying down the half points on the Razorbacks. If it goes up to 7.5, I'm doing the exact same thing in that situation as well. On the late card, you've got Washington, a 23-point favorite, at home tonight against Kent State. You remember with Washington last year when they opened up against Montana, didn't go too well for the Huskies, and that eventually cost Jimmy Lake his job. Well, they've got a new coach, pretty much revamped the team. They've got a new quarterback, Michael Penix, who came in from Indiana. And their opponent tonight, Kent State, has an interesting situation. They do have the remnants of that ground attack that was ninth in the country in terms of yards per carry last year, 5.38 yards per carry. Number 3 in terms of rushing offense per game, 249 yards a game. The 2 top running backs, Marquez Cooper, who ran for a little over 1,200 yards, and Xavier Williams, who ran for over 800 yards, are back. Problem is the trigger man of that attack, Dustin Crum, I'm sorry, who was a 3-year starter. He is gone. He accounted for 3,890 yards of total offense last year. Threw for 20 touchdowns, ran for 12 touchdowns. You just don't replace that type of offense. With Washington in a situation, new coach, new quarterback, not wanting to repeat last year's sins, I think this is so crucial of a spot for the Huskies to come out and make a statement and have a big game. And you look at Kent State last year, a team from the Mid-American Conference, right? They had 3 what I call step-up games where they went out of conference. They played Texas A&M, they played Iowa, but they played Maryland. They went 0-3 against the spread in those step-up games, all out of conference, and they lost them by an average of 25 points. They're 0-6 against the spread their last 6 opportunities as a road dog. Washington's offense has 8 starters back, and again, they have Michael Penix at quarterback. You know, Penix had an injury-riddled campaign his final year last year at Indiana, but in 2019 and 2020, you know, this is a guy who threw for over 3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns and really had a strong command of that offense. And the coach at Washington now was the offensive coordinator back in 2019 with Penix in Bloomington. So that's why I like Washington. Now, if I had to rank the plays, it's exactly how I gave them to you. Maryland would be number 1, Arkansas close behind at number 2, Washington at number 3. That'll do it. Wish you well, and good luck, everybody.